something is off.
Okay.
All right, let's switch back to Vixen. Vixen, the monstrosity kind of exited out, and you were witnessing this exchange. What do you do?
I'm like, man, this is a waste of time. I'm gonna scope out the building that we know those drones went into.
I think because you are our fancy detective lady with the move, this would be a straight up creeping. That sounds right.
Straight up creeping. When you scope out a person or place, roll plus mundane.
Yeah. What you're doing to scope it out? Are you staying in the sewer? Are you moving around? What are you doing?
Well, we're above ground now, right? So I'm gonna see, like, is there? This is a whole area of condemned buildings. Can I?
I'm gonna ask you a question. I guess.
Yeah.
Ask you a question. Tell me what you're doing to gather your information. That's the stage.
So one of my things is the front entrance is almost never the right idea. So I'm gonna like.
It's weird because you've got this like row of condemned buildings. There's like a low-rise apartment building, and that's just like you can smell how decrepit this old domicile was. We used to live here, and then there's another one kind of a little bit of ways away. It's like a strip mall kind of a thing, and then between them there's this like recessed thing. It's like boarded up. It almost looks like a convenience store, kind of pushed up. It's sandwiched in between, so there's no space in between. There's no alleys in between. But you've got this like low-rise apartment. You've got this convenience store, and then a strip mall off to the side, kind of a thing. And the reason it's recessed is because there used to be a gas station there, but the whole gas station has been kind of dismantled and taken apart. So there's no awning or anything. It's just like a derelict convenience store.
Pad. Yeah. Okay. Do we know, like?
So roll. That's it. You're kind of observing from. So you haven't really said what you're doing, but you're observing from the under the manhole cover. Is there anything else that you to gather more information?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop out from this manhole cover because Dante already has, and I'm gonna just like duck behind this sort of electrical box kind of thing that's outside the convenience store kind of area.
Sure. So yeah, for sure. And it's like covered with spray paint, and it's been ripped open, and like it's been gutted. It's empty now. There's nothing inside there as far as an electrical box, but it's like an old transformer box that's been vandalized.
If the panels are still on there and it works as cover, then it works.
There, you're kind of observing what you can see from there. And are you just trying to choose a few different locations to get a general sense of the place?
Yeah, well, I want to get a sense of like, can we figure out where the robots went? Like on the what happened here recently, kind
Great.
of.
Roll straight up creeping then. Roll plus mundane.
I got a 10.
Awesome. You get asked 2 questions.
Sweet. So what happened here recently, specifically with the bots?
Okay. So the bots, what evidence do we have? There is.
I'm just thinking like the skittering kind of thing.
Yeah, you are trained
to
know how to observe in detail. You know what it looks like when a place is heavily trafficked. The area in front of this convenience store has not been traversed in a long time, right? There's garbage everywhere, just kind of blown in there. It's gathered and there's like a pile kind of gathered where the wind has blown it. and there's no evidence of human activity in this area. However, you're not looking for humans. And what you notice is kind of like up against the side where the wall of the low-rise apartment is, you see a million little dents in the wood paneling, as if it's been hit by 1,000 little hit by 1,000 little metal hammers, and it's almost like to your trained eye, you're like, this is like a highway for these little robots. They've been in and out who knows how many times, and they go straight into what used to be an automatic door. You see, it's like the automatic door is crooked, and there's a little opening underneath there. So what happened here recently? I think that's enough detail for you to infer.
I like take a peek at this building and say, what's my best way in?
Okay, your best way in is definitely not the front entrance because that is clearly going to be monitored. And in fact, what the monstrosity is doing is probably dangerous, because again, to your trained eye, you're like, this is going to be the main entrance. There's going to be eyes here of whatever type watching. You don't know exactly what you're looking for, but you know that you're dealing with drones. Is whoever is involved in this, whoever is the mastermind behind this, is clearly very good with technology. So your best option is to go where they don't expect, which is where people can't usually go, up from above or from behind.
So I'm just gonna let Dante have his conversation, and I'm going to scale a drain pipe and try to make my way into one of these windows. See if there's one with like weak boards or something like that.
And where do you scale the drain pipe?
So I picture like sort of along the wall that it's sharing with the convenience store kind of thing. There's just like a bit of a gutter kind of thing that goes down towards the street there.
And so we see a silhouette in the panel here. We see behind you are the lights of Crime Alley, and we see your silhouette climbing the drain pipe. What are you thinking as you're climbing the drain pipe?
Just keep talking, Dante. Just keep talking.
Just keep, and we split it up so that there's like, just keep talking, Dante. And then at the bottom of this, just keep talking. And you kind of like.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm just like gently kind of testing out some of these boards that are up on the windows of this building as we go, kind of thing. Seeing if there's just like a weak point that I can kind of get in.
Oh, definitely. This is a condemned building, but it's not abandoned in the sense that nobody is there. There's been traffic in there all over, and like there's all kinds of vandalism. There's a bunch of rot, and so you can take your pick. So do you choose to go in through like a rotten board, or is there some place where the boards have been knocked out that you just kind of creep in? What do you choose?
Yeah, let's say like how high is this building, kind of thing, give or take?
Let's say it's
apartment 4 or 5 stories.
4 stories.
Yeah. So let's say like halfway up on the 3rd floor or something like that. There's one that's just like it's a shattered window and there's like one little 2x6 on there. So it's easy enough to just kind of get up onto this ledge and climb in there.
I'm imagining a lot of this stuff because it's happening kind of done in like a black and white paint style, except for maybe your mask. So your mask your mask has a little bit of like a splash of color on it. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like red on black kind of thing.
Yeah.
Red
so we see we see, of course, we see you climbing. Just keep talking about it. Just keep talking. And then we see Vixen's form sliding into this thing. And we see a panel of just that window. And then we see Vixen's mask in the dark of the window there, kind of like, and it's like a little splash of red color in a black and white panel. So, great.
So my next question is about gear, because I have this idea for gear that I have like some night vision and just some gear to augment my senses as well, like a little bit of directed sonar within the mask ears and stuff like that.
You have the gear move yet. You have straight up creeping and you have parkour ninja. Have you been, gentlemen, have you been keeping track of how many times you fail?
We've been marking potential, yes.
Good. Are you
failed rolls. I forgot about marking on failed rolls. I've marked like 4 potential this game tonight.
Good. Yeah. And so you might be eligible for an advancement. Yeah, I think we should just let you have it. So let's look at your advancements. I think one of your advancements is...
I'd have at least 6 potential at this point then.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's just, once you get to 5, you erase them all and you just mark 1 more.
Okay.
And your advancements, if I can find them real quick, you can take another move from your playbook. So you can unlock that move. All of a sudden, like, it's been there the whole time, but now we get to see it in the fiction of your
dope
gear. So right on, good for you. Jeffrey, if you've failed a few rolls, I don't think quite as many as Joe. But if you mark 2 or 3 potential,
yeah, I think I've gotten 2 fails this round. Yeah. So
don't forget to mark those guys, because I will forget. That's not my. It's your job as characters, as player characters, to keep track of your failures, because that's how you advance in the game. So don't forget it. And from now on, I kind of want to. I think I'll be a little bit more strict about it. I'll be like, did you mark that down? Okay, we'll negotiate, but I won't be like shut it down completely. But
and just for clarity, that's anything less than 7 is a failure, right? On a roll. Okay.
Yeah, and you've definitely had 3 or 4, so I'm happy to advance you. So yeah, you can mark that next move, which is your gear move.
No powers.
It looks like you did that. Good. All right, so you want to add a piece of gear there that will allow you to roll plus mundane for 1 time in this session. You can either roll it 1 time per session, or you say that it's a piece of gear that you use once and for some reason it gets expended. And let's say just because your brothers make this stuff in your basement effectively, you are well-to-do, but you are not a factory, right? And so a lot of it is like just homemade stuff. And so it might just be good for one use and then he has to fix it or that kind of thing. So
gotcha.
What is your gear? And you can type it in on that blank line.
How specific do I have to be?
The gear helps you to do 1 move specifically. So it says in the move, you can directly engage a threat, unleash your powers, or defend someone, and you get to roll plus mundane instead of your normal label. So your gear should allow you to do 1 of those moves.
Okay.
So maybe unleash your powers might be the appropriate one, because your powers are like as not a detective. Yeah, what are your powers? Your powers are. Yeah, I don't know.
This is the unleash your powers move?
Parkour and stealth. So this might be applied to stealth. It sounds though that like you might be just straight up creeping. You're trying to get some more information, but you've already kind of done that for this building, so that And I'm not going to let you roll the move a second time until the situation is changed. Because right now you're still outside the building. You're still kind of gathering more information.
So an extension of the same move kind of thing as we're inside?
Yeah, you can use your gear, but I think your gear, it should, let's keep it focused on those three moves that we talked about. It's going to be something that helps you direct, like a weapon of some kind, maybe that helps you to directly engage a threat. It's going to be something that allows you to unleash your powers in a way that's not straight up creeping. Does that make sense? So
powers being like the parkour, the stealth, and the agility.
Right. So something that would allow you to sneak exceptionally well, or use your martial arts, and use your martial arts in a way that's not defending someone or attacking. So really, if you're using your martial arts, you're going to be defending or attacking, and you'll have a piece of gear that allows you to compete in this superpowered arena, right?
Okay.
But like you use it and it's broken, kind of a thing. So, and that kind of emphasizes how powerful these superpowered creatures are. And the other one is parkour. So if you have some gear that you want to, the thing is with parkour, your parkour move already uses mundane, so there's no point in replacing mundane with unleashing your powers, except in a situation where you would be doing something impossible, like, I don't know, jumping to the third story window. You can't do that as a human being, but maybe you have some piece of gear that allows you to parkour beyond the human realm. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it has to be engage a threat, unleash your powers, or defend someone. It has to be one of those three moves. It doesn't sound like that's what you're doing. It sounds like you're still kind of scoping out, kind of assessing the situation. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we've already talked about how you already have like a heads-up display, and you might have night vision in your mask already.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll say that's a thing that you already have. So.
Yeah. Okay. Can I leave it?
Yeah.
For now.
Leave it for now.
Okay.
Until you want to do one of those three moves, because those three moves are things you're not particularly good at. You're pretty good at defending people, but certainly in terms of directly confronting a threat, that's not your wheelhouse. So you need the gear to kind of keep going. And unleashing your powers, you're not a freak, but if you want to unleash those parkour and do something that's impossible for a human, then that's when we would apply it.
Okay.
You're standing there, you're in this second story window, and you're poking your head out. You've already straight up creeped, so I don't want to roll that move again, but maybe you're trying to assess the situation now.
Yeah, I'm inside. I want to see, I guess, let me see what the what here is the biggest threat. Like I'm in the room, sort of scoping things out. I'm like, I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna get into the hallways. I'm gonna move around the building and sort of listen and look and try to be quiet and find out what here is the biggest threat, I guess.
So are you assessing, like you're assessing this general situation? So all of these robots kind of went into the convenience store. And are you assessing the convenience store, or are you assessing the building where you're in?
Oh, okay. That's not how I understood that. I understood that they went into the building beside the convenience store.
No, they used what they can do that normal people can't to avoid disturbing the refuse in front of this thing. And they use a path off to the sides to make it in through the front door of the convenience store. So we're going to say you are still on the second floor of this high rise, but you're looking down out at the convenience store, and you're trying to assess the situation. So we need a roll for that to happen. Did you roll already?
I might do something else then. Is it close enough that I can humanly like jump from the third story onto the roof of the convenience store?
I would say that would be a good use of your unleash your powers move. You also have like some of your spy equipment, so you could like grappling hook down there, because there are definitely human ways to get down there. But if you're gonna jump from the building and you're trying not to make any noise, yeah, that's not gonna happen. You're probably like leap there, break your legs, and then break through the ceiling.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna rappel down and kind of parkour ninja my way out. So if I need to like grappling hook onto the edge of the window and then sort of swing and get onto the roof of the convenience store.
Let's see how that goes, and then once you've kind of gotten to a good vantage point, we'll go back to the monstrosity happening.
Holy butts! I got a 7.
7 plus your.
No, 7 all told.
Okay. So you get one flow. I think bypassing an obstacle would make sense. Is there something else that you're interested in?
What obstacle are you thinking of? Like just like the window ledge, the swing itself?
Well, what are you trying to do?
So I'm on the third story of the apartment building beside the convenience store. I got a running start, jump through the window that I just came in from, grappling shot the ledge of the window to swing onto the roof of the convenience store.
Just jumped out of?
What?
Like the ledge of the window you just jumped out. So you jump out the window and then you turn in the air, like you shoot your grappling hook kind of thing?
Just to get my momentum so I can swing onto the roof of the convenience store.
That's so awesome. Okay, yeah. So you get out there. And what's your end goal? What are you trying to get to?
Well, I'd like to make it onto the roof of the convenience store, and I'm hoping to make less noise than I should.
Okay, let's make it happen like that. Okay, so there's not given your skills and your equipment, there's not an obstacle in terms of rappelling down there, but rappelling silently and landing silently, that's what you do. You manage to make it down there, and the whole ceiling is covered in gravel, and you manage to rappel. The reason that you did the leap is because you need to make it. The roof of the convenience store extends straight up against to the walls, and it's just all gravel. It's just like impossible to make it quiet. But there's a narrow ledge that runs along each edge, and then there's it kind of makes an H, right? There's a ledge that goes across the middle. So you launch yourself out the window just enough silently. You leap off the wall, disconnect your thing, and it's like zipping. Kind of do a roll on top of this narrow ledge. It's like a foot wide, and you kind of get up and you get your balance back. What do you think?
Yeah.
What is Vic thinking?
I guess what's my thought bubble again?
Yeah.
Sometimes the construction of these places is too convenient.
Perfect. And now we switch back to the monstrosity. So your contact LJ
quickly.
He was kind of babbling incoherently, but there's something off about him. Yeah, something seems weird about this situation. What do you do?
Yeah. I kind of want to call the ambulance to come get him, but I want to call my ex-wife to come to the hospital and say that she's his sister, so that the doctors can tell her what they find out about him.
Interesting. Okay. So you call and like you're calling on your cell phone kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So you call 911. What's your emergency?
I think man is overdosing at this address.
Yeah, you kind of rattle off the address of the place. Like, all right, thank you, sir. Can I get your name?
Dante Medina.
Thank you, Mr. Medina. Do you believe? How would they say this? Is the victim in danger?
I don't know. I think he might be.
Is there a physical threat nearby, sir?
I don't think so, but it's a really rough neighborhood.
All right, thank you, sir. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dispatch the police to make sure that the area is clear, and we will send an ambulance to help this individual as soon as possible. Could you please stay on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And she proceeds to ask you some questions about his vitals, about his state, like is he conscious, unconscious, is he injured, is there blood, is there an obvious injury? And she, like, I'm not a 911 operator, but this is kind of like my foggy memories of the last time I called 911. It's just like trying to keep you on the line while at the same time gathering as much information about the scene as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to stay there with LJ?
Kind of, sorta. I do kind of want to keep like an eye on where Vixen's going and what Vixen's doing.
Okay. She is out of sight. Last you left her, you kind of vaguely noticed her as you were talking to LJ. You vaguely noticed her moving, but you're not sure where she is at the moment. What are you going to try to do?
I am going to try and catch up with Vixen. While I do that, I want to.
You don't know where Vixen is.
Okay. I don't, huh? Okay. Then yeah, I'll stay with LJ for in the meantime, and I'll get my ex-wife on the phone.
Okay. So are you hanging up on the 911 operator?
Crap. I guess not.
Just do it, man.
You know what?
Hang up on him.
I gave them the address. I told them the situation. I hang up.
Okay. So you hang up on the 911 operator and you call your ex-wife?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're kind of standing there beside LJ and you're calling?
Yeah.
Okay. It is probably about 2 a.m. at this point, and she answers, hello? Hello?
Carmela, it's me.
Dante, what are you doing? Dante, it's 2 a.m.
I know, but
Don't be calling at 2 a.m. I've got to work in the morning. Don't you know?
Can you call in sick?
There's a pause at the other end of the line. It's just, Dante, what's going on?
There's this guy. He's a homeless guy down in Crime Alley. The ambulance is going to come pick him up, saying that he's overdosing. He's not. Something else is up. It's fishy as hell, and I need your help, Carmela. I can't go to the hospital. I need you to go so you can say you're his sister or something. You can find out what's up.
You can't call me at 2 a.m. and ask me to do these things. What is going on in your life? Why are you in Crime Alley with an addict? Why are you there with somebody who's doing drugs?
Well, I can explain everything later, but right now, please, Carmela, I just need you to do me this favor.
Dante, I cannot help you doing all these things, and if I don't know what's going on, I need you to tell me. You need. If I'm going to help you with this situation, I need to know what's going on in your life. I know that you've been involved in things in Crime Alley. You've told me that you're trying to help people, but I don't know what helping people means. Are you Dante?
I think these people are behind the attack on the governor.
I should.
Please, Carmel, I'm trying to do some good here, but I can't be the one going to the hospital.
Just promise me, Dante, that you'll tell me what's going on once I do this for you. I am not going to call in sick, Dante, but I will do this for you. But
I promise. You do this for me, I'll tell you everything. Okay?
And Dante, I'm not going to tell them any lies. If they ask me what I know, I'm going to tell them. I can't be involved in anything wrong, anything shady. They'll fire me from my job. I'll get on the news. I don't want to be on the news.
All right, I understand. But you need to ask for this guy. His name is LJ. You need to find out what's really going wrong. Okay, that's all I need.
You promise you're going to tell me what's going on?
Everything you want to know.
Tomorrow, after work.
Promise.
Fine. I will go. She doesn't say goodbye.
Dang.
All right. I lean over to LJ. I don't know how conscious he is at the moment, but
you could try and revive him, but it would take some time.
I don't try very hard to revive him. I just tell him that the ambulance is coming. It's okay. They just want to help, and everything's going to be okay. I promise.
I see this beautiful panel. It's not quite a full page, but it's probably like a 2/3 thing. So there's like maybe a set of panels up above where it's like you're shaking him and he kind of flops, and you shake him again and he kind of flops the other way. And then we see you standing over him. It's just silhouette of this. Do you have a tail? I never asked you that.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah. So you've literally got this like lizard tail. So we see this tall, thin lizard-like silhouette, and you're kind of like, I imagine your posture is a little bit stooped, kind of like this. But we see like the silhouette of you, and there's this crumpled form of a silhouette of his crumpled form in there. And then we see all the things you just said in speech bubbles with like the little tails in between to show there's like a little pause in between each. You're talking to this poor unconscious guy. And it's just so like tender, but nobody knows that this is a thing that you've done.
Yep.
That's just
surreal.
Yeah, I love like this. Like we're painting a really good tragic picture of the monstrosity.
Yeah, this tender-hearted, scary-looking guy.
Yeah. But
and he acts so tough so much of the time.
And
but
trying to do the right thing, and then all of a sudden, the next panel, the first line, without any images behind it, we hear. And we see, actually, maybe the image that we see is a pair of police lights. We see just the bar of red and blue flashing with the big noise of the siren over the top of it. What do you do?
I try to get up on the roof.
Yeah. You could not just do that if you were a human being, but if you were a monstrous animal, a monstrous being with animal powers, you could do that by unleashing your powers. Roll plus freak.
Of the convenience store you're getting up onto the roof of?
Yes.
Or of the high rise.
Of the what now? The convenience store.
So LJ was kind of hunched up in the entryway of this high rise. Now the entry was all boarded up and it's just completely inaccessible, but he was taking shelter in there. And you can either climb up on this high rise or you can kind of go into where the convenience store is behind it, which is where, well, you don't know this, but that's where Vixen is.
I guess I just kind of immediately want to get out of there, so I go straight up the high rise.
Okay. And that would give you a good vantage point to see if you can find Vixen.
Yeah. I suppose there's some signage up there. I don't know. That I can figure out which way she went. Okay. 4 and 3 plus 3 for freak is 10.
Okay. Yeah, you do it. You manage to get up there, and just as you get up to the top, you see Vixen explode out of the side of the building, but it's surreal because it's completely silent. You see it's like this repelling figure, and she's got like a perfect diver's physique, and she's aiming. It looks like she's gonna go off the edge of the building, but she just lands and does like a somersault on the just like this 1 foot wide ledge there, and then she's up and she's like jogging there, and you can't hear a sound. Like even with your heightened senses, way up at the top of the building, you don't hear a thing. It's just like wow. So you not only get to the top building, but you know where your partner is now.
Okay, I would like to follow to where my partner is.
Okay, Vixen. You were using your parkour to do this, and I think you used up your flow. But now, what are you trying to do? You were kind of saying that you were trying to assess the situation. You're trying to get a little bit more information. You're no longer straight up creeping because you're in motion and you're on the go. You're not scoping this place out. You're already at the point of invading it. So. You can roll plus superior to collect information as you're on the fly.
Okay. I'm going to come down. I imagine myself, I roll on this ledge, and I'm coming down sort of the backside of the convenience store now. And well, I'm going to try to find a way in, essentially. If I can get into one, if find a way in from the roof, great. Otherwise, I'm going to sort of rappel down the backside of the convenience store, see if there's a way I can make my way in from there.
Okay. Yeah, I can't let you roll straight up creeping again because you've kind of left the scoping out. So although that would get you what you want, because you're already in motion, you're not like scoping it out. Do you understand the difference? Like you're already invading it. So yeah, I think
okay.
Rolls
I
plus,
see.
You're not like looking from the next building over and like scoping it out. You're invading it right now. So roll to assess the situation.
Okay.
Or what are your powers again? You have martial arts.
Ninja.
Under stealth, I could let you unleash your powers if you had some kind, and you could use your move to kind of get it. I think that's what you were aiming for before.
I want to get in, right? If my straight up creeping from before found me a way in, whether it's a window or I saw somebody making their way into an unlocked door or something like that. Boom! I found a trap door in from the roof.
You have a piece of gear that you're going to use to help you to find that kind of information.
Yeah, I have. I make my way down the back side of the building, and there is a door with a keypad lock, and I've got a decoder.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you managed to get down to the back, and you're like, oh, there's a keypad, but your brother, in his wisdom, has provided you with one of those, and you've got it kind of. I'm imagining you're definitely a utility belt kind of a character. Like you've got a few select pieces of gear that you can pull on, and the decoder. This is like we're talking like the size of a toonie kind of a thing. So it's like you put it on the side there, and sure. Roll plus mundane. And for now, is this a single use only?
This piece of equipment, yes.
Okay.
I
And
got
that
a 10.
means it's the only one you have in your utility belt. So if you encounter another locked door, it might not work as well. You'll have to find some other way to get past. But for now, you roll plus mundane. Did you roll?
10.
Okay. So unleash your powers on that 10 plus, you just do it. So yeah, it's like, and the door kind of pops open, and it just strikes you like it strikes you as odd that there's this high-tech lock on this abandoned building. So there's like click, and the panel is like we see the door with a big dark gap on there. It's open. So what do you do?
I'm just gonna stand there in the doorway and open it up. Just take a look at what's inside.
Inside is your brother Martin's kind of lair, is what you call it, or what he calls it. He
The
calls
den,
it,
actually.
yeah. So it's the den, but he calls it his lair, and it's like a Faraday cage. So there's like a whole bunch of like not chain link, but like fine mesh that prevents a lot of signals from escaping or entering. And it's got like wires and this kind of stuff. You've had disagreements about how he uses a space, but you've come to kind of a peace because he's able to do these magnificent things in that space. And so you kind of just let him have it. This place is like that if you weren't there to help keep it under control. It's just like big thick cables running from the wires from the roof and from the sides. There's like snakes that running across the floor. There's some kind of reinforced octagonal structure just off to the left on the inside of this convenience store. So you kind of like enter, and there's like a little you're coming in through the back door, and there's like a little hallway, and you're seeing this off to the left-hand side. So you're entering on the right hand, like if you're entering in, you're entering on the side of it. So, and on the left, there's this little hallway. There's like another adjoining hallway where there's like the bathrooms and stuff like that. And as you creep forward, you see this enormous octagonal structure that's reinforced with like I-beams and all these wires, and there's flickering lights, and on the walls there's all kinds of like hanging tools. There's tools and machine parts scattered all over the floor, and there's along the wall you don't recognize them at first because they're kind of hanging down, but they've got like these pointy ends and like a kind of a ball at the top, and there's like a whole wall where a bunch of them are hung there, and then a bunch of kind of fall into the floor. You don't recognize them until they leap into life, and these are these little spider drones that you've been following. and their little red eyes swivel in your direction. And a voice inside says, "Ah, you're not the one I expected." That's okay. The more the merrier. Welcome. And they start creeping towards you. You're just standing frozen as I'm narrating what's happening. You better do something quick.
I'm going to shut the lights out.
What's that?
I'm going to shut the lights out in this place.
Are you like looking for like a power box kind of thing? Like
I pictured like I make my way into this room and it's a refurbished convenience store with all these parts and like maybe some generators.
The overhead lights no longer exist. Like what was used to be fluorescent tubes and drop ceiling, not there anymore. In fact, anything like you see that some of these things have been repurposed. And in fact, some of the ballasts that used to be hanging from the ceiling are actually on this octagonal structure. There is like a glow emanating from inside there, but you haven't seen inside it yet.
Okay. How many of these things are there? Like lots, or is it like half a dozen?
It would take time to count them all, but they would be on you.
Yeah, okay.
I think when you were chasing them, I said something like half a dozen, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
There's more than that.
There's more than that now. Okay. I'm going to, I don't know, like barricade myself behind the door or something like that and try to.
So there's like a hallway. There's no door blocking.
There's no doors to speak of. Okay.
Things. The door, you could barricade yourself behind the door that you came in that had the keypad on it. You'd be back outside.
Yeah. No, I don't really want to.
Bathrooms, but there's no door in between you and the robots right now. They're skittering towards you very quickly.
How does this
frantically?
How does this gear thing work? Can I use a new piece of gear now that I've used up my decoder?
As a single use, you can use another one.
Okay.
But the way it works is if you want to use a piece of gear multiple times, the first time you'd be able to roll mundane, and the subsequent times you'd be rolling according to your regular move. So if you're directly engaging a threat, so the idea is like you're either using many different types of little pieces of gear.
Sweet.
Or you're using one piece of gear multiple times, but it's just for narrative effect, right? Like he gave you a gun, right? It's like a laser gun or a laser pistol. So
yeah, cool. So I'm gonna drop a smoke screen, kind of like I did in the square, to give me some cover, kind of like when Monstrosity and I got away. And I'm gonna try to look for a power box or something like that.
Okay.
That I can put out of commission.
So would you say that you are unleashing your stealth powers in order to make this happen?
Yes.
Great. So yeah,
I'm trying to hide my movements from these drones.
Great. So you have these smoke bombs. Roll mundane. So I like this move. The way we've kind of stylized it is because it's on you to describe what gear you have in order to make it interesting. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to let you do the same thing twice.
Okay.
So it's on you and to keep it interesting because I like it.
So I rolled a 10 again for my smoke screen.
Yeah. So you're like, smoke bomb, and you just kind of combat roll out of the way. You've done a couple of simulations like this before where a convenience store is being robbed or something with Martin, and you know that the power box is actually back the way you came. in the hallway where the bathrooms are. So you kind of combat roll out of the way to confuse the robots, and you head down there, and you're going to try and cut the power to this facility.
Yeah, so I have just like this almost like a taser kind of thing that I'm just gonna like slam onto this power box. Like I imagine having taser gloves kind of thing, but I just imagine just like grabbing onto this thing, or you know, putting a taser grenade or something on there.
Okay, so and again, so you've got like a something in your utility belt where you're like, and it's like, and you kind of, and you kind of unleash your powers in that way. What? No, this is getting a little bit outside of your.
Yeah, I guess this is not stealth.
It sounds like directly engaging a threat. The threat being in this situation, this big thing, and I don't think you're using stealth to do it. You're using like a taser to kind of do it. So you would have to either roll plus danger, because this sounds kind of dangerous what you're doing here. Yeah, so I don't think you're well, yeah, because it's not unleashing your powers. It should be martial arts, parkour, or stealth, and I don't think this taser kind of belongs in any of those.
No, I don't think so. All right, cool. So roll. My danger is 0. So let's see how this goes.
Good luck.
I got a 7.
Nice. So that means you get to choose. So on a hit, you trade blows. Now we're gonna kind of abstract that a little bit, because you're not fighting somebody in this situation, but you're trying to remove the power source for this thing, and you're going to take some kind of harm for doing that. You are being pursued by robotic minions, and so what I think is going to happen is you can probably cut the power to whatever is going on in that big room. You can cut the power to it, but your little taser is not powerful enough to do it instantly. You have to like kind of hold it there to overload the circuits until like, because they've been welded. We're talking like the breakers have been welded into the open position. You can overload them, but it's gonna take some time. In that time, the robots would find you.